And hello everybody, welcome back to another video this week. In this video we will be setting up for the month of July. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and tell your friends that I post a new FLAMINGO video every single Sunday, and they should totally join in the fun. And also to check out my Instagram at planlikethat, the same way it's spelled here, for close-up shots of all the spreads I've ever done ever since I started bullet journaling. With that being said, we're starting off this video with the cover page for July. I went with a wave paper boat theme, much like the spread for January where I did paper airplanes. I really liked that theme very much, and you guys did too, so I decided to bring in paper boats to the image. But I ended up making a really intricate wave pattern. This pattern was inspired by photos on Pinterest, and probably specific photos on Pinterest if I remember correctly. Although it took a really long time to make with pencil, I didn't realize how messy it would turn out with markers and pens. Perhaps for the weekly spreads I will do this with color pencil and see how much more control I get, but for the monthly page I also tried a new lighting setup, a new camera setup, because I didn't have much time to set up both cameras. And I also wanted to see if this angle would show less of my hand and more of what the pen is showing. It did for the most part, but there are definitely still some shots where it was just all hand and not the end of my pen. So something to work on, I suppose. And the lighting is also terrible, because look at those shadows. Oh my. Well, with the waves done finally, I went ahead and worked on the actual word July. Again, I sketched it out first with the pencil, and then I went over it with my Crayola Super tips and my Staedtler Fineliners. I really liked the drop shadow effect. This setup made the lighting really close to me, so doing such an intricate design with the light so close to my eyeballs, my eyes dried up, they swelled up, and when I drove to work after this I had to take a quick nap for the sake of my eyes. So definitely gonna switch up the setup for next week. Not next week. For 2 weeks from now when July actually starts. But moving on to the actual monthly page, I went with the wave art again. This is before I knew that coloring it would be such a hassle. Also, one of my blue Crayola Super tips doesn't really have a tip anymore, it's more of a nub, and so doing tiny intricate details made it extra hard because of that color. I went with a basic month layout, but I decided to just do the lines for the top of the boxes and not really for the vertical lines, just because it was very lineful for the waves of the bottoms, and I kind of wanted to keep it simple and minimal for the actual monthly setup. And then I added little circle dots for the days of the week with my stencil from Michaels. I also let the dots dry before I went in with my Staedtler Fineliner, because I did do a little test before I started the waves, and if I put the Staedtler Fineliner over the Crayola Super tip a little bit too early, then the Staedtler Fineliner would start to bleed to the blue and it would look really messy. So I also had to wait for the Crayola Super tips to dry first and then use my pen. Drying time while using markers and watercolors. Very important. If you are OG subscribers and fans of my channel and my Instagram posts, you'll know that last July I also did a water theme. This is really a step up from last time, or at least it could have been if I could see the lines that I drew. But the light was just so close that it was really overexposing the lines, and then I was getting dizzy, and ooh, it was a struggle. But yeah, drawing each individual stroke for these waves took a really long time. I'm not making you sit through every single stroke that I make because making this spread also came with bad memories. And even I don't want to see it, so... But basically, just grab your blues from your Crayola Super tip pack, choose a couple that look good together, fill in the lines that you drew earlier, and leave some white space, and outline them with a dark blue Staedtler Fineliner. I did try outlining them with the lighter Staedtler Fineliner, which if you have the 10 pack, 11 pack, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the dark blue really stood out a lot better than the light blue. Moving on from that, I just added the actual numbers of the days to the month real quick. And then I moved on to my mood tracker and my notes page. Didn't do any wave designs for these pages. I feel like I should have because they look really empty and plain. But at the same time, I was exhausted and I really had to leave for work. So just went in real quick and easy with the paper boats. And I did outline them with my two Staedtler Fineliner colors just to give it a little pop of color. And I also added a 3-key grid at the bottom to fill out later. And then for the notes page, I just kept it super simple, just writing the word notes in the bottom corner and adding a little paper boat to the top corner. But that's pretty much it. It took a really long time to fill these out, and hopefully I will do a better job with colored pencils for the first spread of the week. Hopefully you like the wave pattern because it's an ongoing theme this month. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and tell your friends that I post a new Plan video every single Sunday. And don't forget to check out my Instagram at Plan Like That, the same way it's spelled here, for close-up shots of all the spreads I've ever done in my bullet journal. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!